Arkham City was supposed to be a solution, a massive open-air prison designed by a professor named Hugo Normal. Oh, sorry, I mean, strange. Guess that just shows how broken and chaotic my mind is. Because of Hugo Strange's corruption, Arkham City became a lawless war zone that allowed the worst criminals in Gotham to thrive. This city is filled with gangs and violence. Every street feels dangerous, and every alley seems like the perfect place for something terrible to happen.
Tiger Command, this is Air Tiger 7. We are approaching the designated location. There's a body. It appears to be naked. Oh, jeez. It looks like someone's cut off his face.
Most unusual. Continue with your patrol, Captain. None of the inmates match this MO. I presume it to be merely a territorial dispute.
After overhearing that a body turned up, we make our way over to the alley, and once we get there, we see the body laying on the floor, covered in blood, with bandages wrapped around its face. Scanning the body reveals that the victim died to blood loss after having their face surgically removed. After running this information through the database, we find that there have been 3 murders in Gotham with the exact same MO. And as of right now, there's no suspects, but the press has nicknamed the killer the identity thief. Next to the body is a pool of blood. We're able to analyze it and use the scanner to track particles of the victim's blood, hopefully leading us to the killer. Following the trail takes us to another alley, where we find a guy curled up on the floor. This witness claims that the person who dumped the body is Bruce Wayne. Now, normally, this would make him our #1 suspect, but I have a little secret to share with you guys. Batman is actually Bruce Wayne. Alright, now that we're all on the same page, we know that there's no way Bruce Wayne could have committed this murder. So we gotta continue searching Arkham City for more evidence. A second body appears in an alley in Park Row. Scanning this body gives us more insight into how the killer is actually committing these murders. We find out that the killer paralyzes the victim's vocal cords, preventing them from screaming, then removes their face and bandages up their head. Next to the victim is a scalpel left behind by the killer, and scanning it reveals a set of fingerprints. We send the prints to Oracle so she can run them through the database, and she tells us that the prints belong to Bruce Wayne. Oracle starts getting worried, questioning how that could even be possible, and Batman does everything he can to reassure her.
How's that possible?
I have no idea.
Look, I get it, you're nonchalant, but you gotta do better than that. Oracle calls him back and asks him how he can be so sure that it wasn't him who killed those people. Now, normally, I'd say there's no way Batman is secretly running around killing people, but earlier in the game, Batman was kidnapped by Joker, and Joker injected him with his infected blood, giving him a deadly disease. And since then, he's only been getting worse and worse. Oracle also brings up Scarecrow and Hugo Strange, saying that they could have messed with his head and manipulated him into committing these murders, which really isn't too crazy to think. I mean, back in Arkham Asylum, Scarecrow made Batman think that he died, came back to life, and then made him fight a giant scarecrow all in his mind. I also need to point out the crazy Batman eating the rat. What the fuck was that? Anyway, this part of the mission is what makes it so good. Whoever's doing this is clearly trying to frame Bruce Wayne for these murders, and it's working so well that the people closest to him are questioning his sanity. It makes it feel like Batman isn't just trying to solve a mystery, he's trying to prove his innocence. But we kind of ran into a wall here. All of the evidence points back to us, meaning we have no leads. Now, so far, every body has been found in an alley, so I'm gonna go on the map and search every alley until I find a body. While looking, I actually found Crime Alley, but there was no body there. Unless you count the outline of Bruce's dead parents. And turns out you can pay your respects. But that's enough of that, we gotta keep looking. I found it. Scanning the body shows us that the victim's face was removed before they died, and it seems like the killer is only interested in certain parts of the face, like he's looking for specific features rather than just taking everything. Whoever's doing this needs to be highly skilled, and that's what doesn't sit right with me. Someone capable of pulling this off shouldn't be hard to identify, especially in a place like Arkham City. which makes something that Hugo Strange said at the beginning of this investigation so interesting. When the first body was found, Strange mentioned that the murder didn't match the MO of any prisoner in Arkham City, which is weird because we know that it matched the MO of the identity thief. This means the identity thief isn't a prisoner. But if he isn't a prisoner, who could he be? At first, I had no idea, but then I remembered an encounter from earlier in the game. Inside of a medical center being ran out of a church, we come across a medic tending to a person on a gurney. This person's face is wrapped in bandages, and they're clutching a box labeled human organ. If we talk to the medic, he tells us that the patient isn't a prisoner, he's a doctor. The medic tells us that he was transferred to work in the church, but the stress of being in Arkham City was too much for him. So he stole anesthetics, used them on himself, and cut off his own face. Personally, I think it's a little dramatic, but I guess we all have our own ways to deal with stress. He continues to tell us that he's actually the one who found him laughing in a corner with his face missing. He tended to his wounds and sedated him. But even while sedated, no one was able to take the box he was holding out of his hands. Something about this felt weird to me, so I decided to stay for a little bit and watch him. And I used to be a security guard at a hospital, so I'm used to sitting for mentally deranged patients. While watching him, all he really did was toss and turn, but then he finally said something.
Wayne.
Now he could be talking about another Wayne, but considering Bruce Wayne is the main character of this video game, I'm gonna assume he was talking about Bruce Wayne. But why? Then I started thinking about everything the medic said. If this doctor really went crazy and just randomly snapped, how did he think about stealing anesthetics and using them on himself before he cut off his face? This wasn't a mental breakdown. This took planning and precision, which are the exact same things we've been seeing at the scenes of the crimes. Next to the victim's body, we find bleach, which was used to destroy any forensic evidence left behind at the crime scene. But what the killer didn't know is that Batman's able to filter his scanner to look for particles of bleach, which will take us straight to the source. Following the trail leads us to an inmate trying to wash the bleach off his hands. We interrogate him and he folds instantly, telling us where Bruce Wayne's hideout is located. At first, it looks like any other alley. It isn't until we step inside that we see what's really being hidden here. In the apartment, we find an audio journal that belongs to a doctor named Thomas Elliot, aka Hush.
This is the journal of Dr. Thomas Elliot. My work has taken too long, but now it's time for my masterpiece to be unveiled. My new face is ready.
Then the gate behind us closes, trapping us inside this makeshift operating room. And that's when Hush reveals his new face. But you look just like
Bruce
me.
Wayne.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. We ask him why he's doing all this, and he tells us it's just good old-fashioned revenge. He walks away, leaving us trapped here. But we're Batman, so we get out. Close the file on the identity thief.
Have you caught him?
No, but open a new file on Dr. Thomas Elliot. I'll give you the deets right now.
Elliot, the famous surgeon? Didn't you used to be friends?
He used to be my day one.
So he was the identity thief? Hang on. This says he used the faces he collected to make a new one that looked like yours. I mean, Bruce Wayne's.
Oracle, keep that on the hush.
Is he crazy? No offense. Are you going after him?
Look, I kind of have a lot on my plate right now. I'll just do it tomorrow. Spoiler alert, he did not do it tomorrow. In fact, his next encounter with him wouldn't be until 9 months later during the events of Arkham Knight. We get notified that contact with Lucius Fox has gone dark, and we need to go to Wayne Tower to figure out why. When we get there, we find out that Hush has taken Lucius hostage, and the only thing he wants is Bruce Wayne. This is the type of obsession that only the branch of a willow tree could conjure. Like that? Little obsession reference. You know the movie where she's obsessed? Anyway, we continue talking to him to try to figure out why he's so obsessed with trying to destroy Bruce Wayne's life. We bring up the fact that Bruce Wayne's dad is the one who saved his mother's life after she was in a crash that unfortunately killed his father. And that's when he lets the mask slip. Hush reveals that he was the one behind his parents' crash, and he wanted them to die so that he could inherit their wealth, which is where his resentment towards the Waynes began. And it only got worse when Bruce's parents were killed, and he was the one who inherited their fortune. He felt like Bruce Wayne was living the life that he deserved. Hush doubles down and threatens to destroy Wayne Tower if Batman doesn't bring him Bruce Wayne. And that's when Batman decides to reveal his identity to Hush.
Take your best shot, Tommy.
Bruce, that's impossible.
My face!
God damn. Afterwards, Batman tells Lucius that he can't take Hush to the GCPD, presumably to keep his identity a secret. But then, in the very next sentence, tells Alfred that he's gonna take him to trial when the night is over. You really don't think he's gonna snitch on you when he goes to court? He's literally trying to ruin your life. This mission is regarded as one of, if not the biggest letdown in all of the Arkham games. I think the reason why it's regarded as such a big letdown is because they gave him one of the best side missions in Arkham City. They spent all this time building him up as a serious threat to Batman and heavily imply that he's gonna play a big role in the future. Just for him to show up in Arkham Knight for 5 minutes and 33 seconds. And yes, I counted. And on top of that, all you have to do to take him down is press one button. But hey, at least Batman saved the day.